Hey, folks. This is our first time to try this going live thing, and we just finished a premiere. Actually, it's not quite over yet, but I thought I'd go ahead and open this up and join you guys. I saw that a few people were waiting, so here we are. I don't know what to do now. It says we have eight people viewing. That's cool. So my name is Glen Muse, and I am the director at Texas Pictures. I'm the guy who's behind the camera for all of the uh, fentanyl poisoning stories and pretty much everything else that's on our channel. And we have a contact at YouTube who suggested we go live now and then. So here we are. Hello, Brandy Johnson. I'm watching this premiere just wrap up right here. It's almost over. And after the premiere, I believe it's supposed to suggest that the people watching the premiere join us here. Maybe, I don't know. So we have. I'm still learning how this works. I don't see it. It's not like a video conference. That's for sure. So you should be able to find. You should be able to find what I'm doing.
I don't know how.
All right. So anyway, yeah. Oops, my notification hit a bit early. Mine too. I set this to go live at 6:30, and I looked at it a few minutes ago, and it said it was set to go live at 6. And oops, I didn't. If I said it that way, I didn't mean to, but here we are. So, Brandy, where are you from? Hello, Maria in the UK. Thank you very much for your kind words. We feel pretty blessed to get to do these. Uh, get to do these stories. It really feels like a privilege to us. Brandy in Kansas City. Did we meet when we were in Kansas?
She's the suicide.
Hey, so this is working both ways. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So, uh, hello, Karen Lee. Where are you, Karen? Yeah. That's me. Usually behind the camera. Not like right now. North Carolina. We've had a couple of story inquiries from North Carolina, people wanting to share their story from the Carolinas, maybe South Carolina. I don't know for sure, but we hear from people all over the country, and people from the UK and Germany and other cool places. So were most of you guys? Hi, Jen. Yeah, you're the same one who commented a few minutes ago saying that you uh, saying something like that on the premiere, I believe. Thank you, Jen. Thank you very much for your kind words. I appreciate watching. I'll get better at this with time, I'm sure. Karen Lee, you're in suburbia. Huh. Thank you, Shining Star. Karen, where are you at? Karen Lee? Philadelphia. Yes, I've heard about that in Philadelphia. We're gonna be kind of close. We're gonna be doing some stories in Toledo to get storytellers from Detroit and from maybe Chicago, kind of a central spot. How do we find the stories? Well, thank you, Sean. I appreciate you joining us for the premiere. That's really that's awesome. Kind of a surprise. It's great to see you here. I think we're probably gonna try to put something short together from the other little bit of talking you did about fentanyl and the Kansas Bureau of Investigation. But I'll send that to you. So where was I? Question wise, how do we find the people? Now we've gotten to where the people find us. Typically, what happens is someone in a location, wherever, will contact us about sharing their story, and we'll explain to them how the process works. That the way we like to do this is when we have a location, like someone at the location, someone in Topeka, Kansas, a few weeks ago. And a couple of weeks from now, we're going to be shooting in Tampa, Florida, and then Miami, Florida. And we have people in both of those locations who want to share their story, and they also have connections with other people who want to share their stories. So they work as sort of the event coordinator, and we try to arrange the event so we have a couple of days of shooting interviews on each location we go to, and we usually shoot 6 or 8 interviews a day. It kind of varies, and that's kind of how it works. Yes. The Chiefs fans. We heard a lot about that. That was right after we left, and terrible thing. Kensington, Philadelphia. Yeah. We hear a lot about Kensington, Philadelphia. Wow. Fentanyl in Brazil. That's new. Vancouver. So, Shining Star, are you in Vancouver? Okay. So anyway, where was I? Yeah, there's uh, we have a contact in we have a couple of contacts in Detroit that we hear from pretty regularly on our channel who talk about Kensington uh, a lot. Uh, yeah. When did we start doing the films? We started a little bit over a year ago in November of 2022. The DEA hired us to shoot these stories at a fentanyl awareness event. They call it a family summit. And at that event, we shot 14, 15, 16 stories. Karen Jackson was at that event. Noah Rodriguez's story was at that event. The first 15 or 16 fentanyl stories were from that one event. And when we started putting those stories on our YouTube channel, uh, they really took off, and so we kept doing it. We started arranging our own summits and going places and having people join us to share their stories. Within Texas, we've shot stories in uh, Dallas, Houston. Okay, that's easy. We're in Houston. Dallas, Houston, Beaumont, uh, El Paso, Austin, San Antonio. Did I say Dallas? Abilene,
Yeah.
uh, all over. They're important stories. We met so many really just incredibly awesome people, and we're still connected with virtually all of them, all the people that have shared their stories. We have a private Facebook page that's really set up for anyone who has shared their story with us or anyone who wants to share their story from us or share their story with us. And if any of you fit into one of those categories, you're welcome to uh, send me an email or friend me on Facebook and message me there and uh, tell me you want to be part of the group, and I'll send you an invite. I'm behind and started late. Sorry about that. That's cool. That's all right. So there's a very cool thing that happens when we record these stories. That when the people start talking, it's a lot of times it's as though they had been waiting to get to just dump that story for a long time. And so there's this kind of relief in how they respond to telling their story. Sometimes I ask a lot of questions. Sometimes I hardly ask any. Sometimes, well, sometimes they just kind of can't shut up. It's all it's all good. It's all uh, it's really really wonderful. We feel very privileged to get to do this. Yeah, Sentinel is scary. Sean, stop. I'm, this is going fast. Oh my God. That's right, Sean. I'm sure the story will make a difference. I feel like uh, Cooper's story. I always call it the lost loved ones story. I try to always do that. So I feel like Cooper's story is going to have a really big impact. In a couple of days, we'll see how many views it gets. But I think it's really really powerful the way that we go between you and your wife and your daughter and how everybody's stories fit together so well. It was wonderful. So I'm behind on reading these messages. Amazing work you're doing. Huh. I Jennifer, it is kind of easy. It they're tough stories to hear, and I joke with people when they ask what I do for a living. I tell them I try to make people cry. But when we shoot these interviews and hear these terrible stories, there's something about it that's bigger than the story. There's something about it because the story is important. Because while the parent or sibling or friend or whoever shares their story of loss, they you can see them getting something out of just talking about it. You can see them lighten up a little. You see them have a little relief for the load they've been carrying. And then when the story's finished and it becomes public on YouTube, it reaches a lot of people. And that's an awesome feeling for us, and I think it's an awesome feeling for the storytellers usually. And so those rewards really outweigh the difficulty of hearing the harsh stories because I feel like the process makes the pain a little bit less for the storyteller, and and probably somewhere it saves a few lives. Yes, it would be good to hear more siblings speak. We do have one episode that focuses on it's called Siblings, Cousins, and Friends, and it's a series of clips that came out of existing stories. It's a series of clips that came out of uh, existing stories. It's siblings, cousins, and friends talking about the different perspective. Uh, we're game to do more. Siblings are a little more hesitant to speak. We are gonna have one short story that has three very young sisters who lost a big sister. It's not going to be very long, and it's going to be one of those rare instances where you'll hear my voice asking questions. But it'll be powerful. These messages are going by so fast, I'm missing stuff. Uh, is, is, is there a constant here that I missed a question from, maybe? Oh, jeez. Sorry. Have you ever had stories that ended up not being aired? Uh, yeah, we've had a few of those. We have, yeah, a few. And we've had a few that are public for a while, and then the storyteller decides they don't want it to be public anymore. So we've had that kind of thing happen. We've also just we've done all the work on creating the story, and then the storyteller ghosts us, and we try to always get approval from the storyteller before we make the story public. It seems like the right thing to do. So we try to do that. So we have, I want to say 5 stories that are finished. Maybe they'll get to be public one day. We'll see. There's one that's from the original event with the DEA in Houston uh, over a year ago. It's a great story, and hopefully we'll get to share that sometime. Amber, holy cow! We have more stuff to do for Amber. We have uh, Amber's recovery story to tell. Yeah, I hope so too. It's got me thinking I need to message a few people and give them a friendly nudge, a little supportive nudge. Okay, Amber here. You never before shared any what?
Shared her story anyway.
Oh, I get it. All right. I'm kind of slow, but my wife can read better than me, so she's right over there. So, uh, oh, Amber did great. She just took off. Her story is oh, Caleb.
I texted you Constance. Can you read it?
What?
I texted you Constance's story.
So, Amber, what was the experience like sharing your story? What you tell all our live people here what the experience was like? Could you? Could you? Amber's story is already published. It's What's Amber's daughter's name?
Haley.
Thank you. Haley's story. It's already public on our channel. It's already published. So, okay, if I haven't answered your question, maybe you ought to ask it again. It's probably scrolled up past the top there, so I'm not seeing it anymore. Hey, Amber, you tell them. Yeah, see, there's awards in the background and everything, and a couple of idiot dogs. Well, thank you, BG Harper. We have a whole series on addiction recovery that you might find interesting if you haven't already seen it, and we also have a series on human trafficking and a series on a series of stories. It's more just an accumulation of stories related to impaired driving. And then we have a series called The American Peace Officer. And the goal behind that series is really to kind of humanize law enforcement, because they're just people like the rest of us, and they get a bum rap sometimes. Sometimes it's totally deserved, but sometimes get a bum rap, and there's some really impressive peace officers out there. I've met a few, and we've done a lot of work with law enforcement, and I've done many ride-alongs. I have my own bulletproof vest. It's ridiculous. When I put it on, I get taller. Anyway, what? If you have a chance. No judgment here with Trish Ross. Huh. Hello, Trish. Uh, go to Brazil. I've been there. I've been through Brazil long ago. We did. We used to do a lot of industrial training and safety kind of videos, and uh, I've been to Argentina. We can go anywhere. Ideally, this series is self-funded, so when we go somewhere, we want to get a lot of stories in one trip. So we do that thing I described before about shooting for 2 or 3 days, all day, shooting interviews, and then for something that has some substantial travel expenses, we'd probably try to find some sort of sponsor, someone who can help defray the travel costs. We don't ever charge anything for creating the stories, and we don't ever pay anything either. But uh, yeah, okay, the impaired driving stuff isn't really a series. There's a couple of documentaries, well, quite a few documentaries. Some that we made for Mothers Against Drunk Driving, some for the Houston Police Department, and they're all in a playlist on our channel. All right, so we've been here 30 minutes. Holy cow! This got pretty easy. I really appreciate you guys joining us. We're gonna. I don't know. Has any of y'all seen a commercial while we're doing this? Does it get interrupted? I don't know. I'm still learning. Thank you, Karen. Okay, cool. That's better. The commercials are a nuisance, but the commercials also make the series sustainable. So they're like a necessary evil. And they work as a transition tool as well in the stories that we create. So anyway, it's been over 30 minutes, so I think it's about time to wrap this up. But we're gonna do this again. This was it's kind of cool to get to interact with you guys instead of just reading your comments in the uh, thank you, Trish. It's cool to get to interact with you guys some, and as we do this more, I'll probably get better with this, and I don't know. My pleasure, Maria. Uh, okay, so Maria, we did get an inquiry from someone in the UK about us going to. I don't remember where it was. It was maybe Plymouth, but got an inquiry from someone in the UK thinking maybe we could come over there and create some stories. So I've been to the UK a lot of times, and I can tell you the UK is the only place I've ever been where I've had difficulty with immigration getting into the country. Not that I'm complaining, but maybe I am just a little bit. We might, we might if we get together enough of a group, uh, then then it could be worthwhile. Sponsors would help. Trips to the UK are pricey, so uh, something to think about. So all of you guys are always welcome to uh, keep in contact with us through the community page. You're welcome to email me anytime you want. Uh, there's our email address is on our channel. It's info@texas-pictures.com. Or you can email me directly at glen@texas-pictures.com. It's Glen with one N, texas-pictures.com. And uh, uh, and if any of you want to be a part of our fentanyl poisoning group on Facebook, let me know. Have you ever considered doing some kind of crowdfunding? Yeah, yeah, it's a tough spot. Yeah, we have kind of sort of done a little bit like that, except location specific, where people from whatever location we're visiting find sponsors. That sounds good. It does. Lots of thumbs up and comments help too. uh, a lot. That's sorry. What's the Facebook group link? It's a private group, so it's limited to people who have shared their stories and people who want to share their stories. It also has a couple of police officers in the group, and it has a counselor or two in the group as well. So if you want to join the group, the name of the group is Texas Pictures Fentanyl Poisoning Film Project, or maybe just Fentanyl Poisoning Film Project. But if you find me on Texas Pictures, if you find me on Facebook and friend me, I can easily send you an invite, or you can email me and tell me you want to join the group, and I'll send you an invite that way. I appreciate your comments, Maria, and Karen, and all you other guys. So I think it's time to wrap it up. I'm feeling the need for dinner. So, but this was a good time. I think that I think we'll do this again. I think we'll make this kind of a semi-regular thing, maybe whenever we do a premiere. Sean, are you still here? Sean Campiti? The reason why I ask is because I could tell you how your story's doing. Sean?
Hey.
I think Sean might have stepped out already, but the Tupper Campiti story that premiered, an hour ago is over 750 views now. So that's cool. Yeah, we'll probably do the live after the premiere next time. We're probably not going to do a premiere with everyone. It's kind of depends on what else we got going on when we make the story public. Once we get a story finished, it gets urgent in my head to get it public, because I know the families that were sharing their story. They're eager to see it out there. And so, all right, folks. So we're gonna wrap it up. The Oregon governor just declared a state of emergency last week. Yeah, one of our stories actually is from Oregon. We shot it in Texas, but what's it? But yeah, it happened in Portland. Yeah. So we can go to Oregon and shoot stories. It's great to be able to tell Sean. Yeah, pretty awesome that Sean joined us. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to shut down the stream, but really so very grateful for you guys joining me for this, and not giving me too hard of a time for doing something that's just way new to me. But yeah, we'll do it again. This has been cool. All right, thanks. All right, thanks, folks. You guys have a good rest of your evening, and thank you, Maria. Thank you. So we'll see you guys next time, and be sure you're probably all subscribers, but if you're not, holy cow, subscribe. All right, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.